What is up, everybody? Very excited today. We have a FFPC main event draft with yours truly, Liam Murphy, Davis Mattek, and Kyle Dvorchak. How are we doing today, everybody?
Doing
it's good.
great.
I missed the pregame chat we had to make sure we were all sort of in line. When I came back, Davis just said you were galbrating everything, and I missed nothing. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I could not show up for it.
Liam, Liam is trying to get every edge he can get in a contest that has one of the largest edges in fantasy football. So,
Davis, I think that's really shrinking quick. I think the FFPC field got
it actually is. You are totally right. The fields are much stronger than they have been.
Yeah, and I mean, like, obviously ship chasing has a lot to do with that. Kyle, the big thing I wanted to say is, like, all of us have access to drive this draft. Obviously, no one should just click a button and overrule the group without a reason. I'm going to be driving for now, and obviously y'all have access to it. I'm going to be sharing the draft board. We can talk freely about players. We talked about late round targets and just kind of like, do we want to get unique? So if it's, I'm assuming we're going to go in order here, Cup or Chase.
Yes.
Or do you guys view that differently?
The only reason to take Eckler would be if we think we're not going to get Pitts in round 2. So then we get a wide receiver we really like, because if we start out Chase, Pitts, then we kind of have to take an ETN type or just go true 0 RB.
That's it.
I don't have a share of Eckler, so I'd be about it, but like I don't want that to weigh any of our decisions.
Saquon goes at 104. I think we just take Cup.
Yep. Not much of a decision here, to be honest.
Yeah.
Cool. I got another share of Cup. I'm pulling up on my phone. I sent this to you guys as well. Just the playoff, the week 15 through 17 playoff bracket. Because I do think it's a tie break where, for anyone who's never played the main event, this is a managed league. It's tight end premium PPR. So tight ends get 1.5 points per reception. Winning your league is important. So it's a sprint because it's only like a 12 or 13.
I mean, winning your league does a lot. You get an extra cash bonus for winning your league. You get an extra cash bonus for winning most regular season points, and you get another cash bonus if you win the playoff weeks as well. So you can, and I know Liam is going to laugh at Liam only wants $1 million. He laughs at getting $10,000 in cash back.
No, I mean, look, man, $10,000 is nice, but
it's nice if you're poor.
All of the money is in first, right? So to me, I want to build a team that can win. And
I would guess if you really gamed out a lot of this stuff, that actually people are probably undervaluing how much winning your league adds, because you only have to.
I disagree. I bet everyone is focused on that, and no one is thinking through how to optimize weeks 15 through 17.
You think?
No one's a bit of a hyperbole, but I agree. I think in any contest where the payout structure is super top heavy, no one appreciates how top heavy it is. I mean,
and they can see like $8,000, like that's a lot of money. But the truth is, if you make the final playoff field, if you get first, you get $1 million. If you get last, you get a main event entry ticket to next year.
You get nothing,
right? Like you get nothing.
Source, I have finished last in the playoff. Like not last, but I've finished in the you just get a ticket multiple times.
Yeah, it's even worse than that. Okay, so Pitts goes in the second. Kelsey goes. Like the big thing with the FFPC, which is a total unknown, is sometimes you're going to be in rooms
where they just gobble the tight ends.
Well, they gobble the tight ends and really the running backs. Like some people really want to build 4 or 5 running backs deep to start. Others, and like
it is a matter of how boomer the room is. Like sometimes these teams will start out and they'll have running backs like on their bench or whatever. My guess is this room does not so much. We did. I mean, Eckler and Cook going ahead of Chase is like, we all really like Chase, but the boomers do not like Chase as much.
Well, it's maybe a sign this was like these guys instantly selected McCaffrey Taylor. Like there was no question in their mind. Like boom, boom. So I don't know what that tells us about this guy. This guy taking Saquon at 4, like that's a sharp move in my opinion. If you're getting a unique combo of Saquon and other guys,
it's all about the combos in week 17, bro.
I mean, if the players are important and they score points, then it is. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they don't, then who cares? But
well, I'll just be the guy that throws this out. Then I'm totally good with Leonard Fournette at 2.8. I know Kyle is going to be anti that. I'm wondering.
I'd be anti that.
I'm anti it in the second, and I would like to defer. This is Kyle's only main event. I've done 10. Davis, you're similar.
This is 5 for me.
5. Okay. Well, I do think some tie breaks should go to Kyle to begin, because he's doing, again, this is only main event.
We could, if this room is going to go full boomer, we could get CeeDee Lamb here.
Oh, don't make me think these unholy thoughts.
Well, Javonte just went
slipping in DK.
I noticed that too, Liam, that he's slipping his ADP.
Dude, it's
like
anyone
out
with
of
a
2
Q
weeks
tag
on DK.
Like,
and
we need the
ADP
Q tags on
big
FFPC.
time.
We need the questionable tags because AJ Brown. So the 10 hole is trying to build a unique team to me. Like this is someone who, like Kyle Pitts, AJ Brown. Like to me, they're trying to build a unique combo.
We just talked about how people don't think about first place a lot.
Yeah,
and as soon as you see someone take 2 picks off ADP, you're like, they're trying to go unique. Dude, they probably just like Kyle Pitts. Like that's really almost certainly the answer.
It's gotta get your guy season.
Yeah.
But here's the thing too, is if someone is trying to build a unique team by reaching, it means we can build a unique team by scooping up ADP.
Yeah, see, I think those are the much more plus CV teams. Obviously, you can't totally control for that.
No,
like
Diggs lasted until the 2.
Dude, that would have been a wet dream.
Okay,
so
I think we
Swift
just
goes.
If CeeDee is here, we are running to the podium for CeeDee. In my opinion,
yeah, I'm cool with CeeDee. I've come around on him, and we're just gonna come on, dude. Take the big dog. Derrick Henry's there.
Fantasy Maniacs absolutely wants to take the big dog. He does not.
He does
the reason he hasn't picked yet, he's running like 30 seconds on the clock. He's just sitting there.
He takes Derrick Henry.
Did he actually?
He did. Yeah, CeeDee.
Easy CeeDee.
Boom.
So
that is a great start, and that allows us, Liam, I think, some optionality in the middle rounds in terms of taking a quarterback, because we are never fucking benching Cooper Kupp or CeeDee Lamb for any reason. Like we have our 2 guys locked in, which is, when Terry McLaurin is your wide receiver 3 or whatever, sometimes you're moving things around, but these guys
and it's
are
a unique combo. Kyle, here's what I want you to weigh in on, because Davis and I differ on this. To me, where we could benefit from being the last person to take a quarterback, which Stafford and Dak would probably be free. Because no one in today's market is doubling up quarterbacks. No one's taking their backup quarterback. Like no one's going like, oh, Josh Allen and Brady. So basically you get to pick your favorite between Brady, Dak, Stafford, Carr, etc. Or you get one of the Konami guys. Like, which go like if you want Murray, maybe it's like 7-8, Jackson even. So like if Jackson falls to a 7-8, I think that's a discussion because the quarterbacks are less valuable to manage. Also, FFPC gives more points for passing yards. It equates to, I got in this argument with Leone, Kyle.
I've heard this.
Yeah, it's so 600 passing yards is worth 300 rushing yards. So it does, like Trey Lance versus Tom Brady, like you could actually see Brady make that up in passing yards, basically.
Yeah, it's basically like 2-to-1 ratio versus in normal leagues it's 2.5 to 1. So it's definitely a sizable difference.
Yeah,
worth noting at least.
We could do Dak and Stafford because the room is down. The landscape is down on both of them right now.
So
Dak with the tackle, Stafford with the questionable.
Either is fine. I definitely am against 2 of them because if we're gonna do a 0 RB anchor RB-esque team, the roster spot is more valuable to us than whatever streaming Stafford. Like having 8 running backs on this team is probably going to be important.
Well, and if someone doubles up on quarterbacks, they will drop them in waivers. Like
Joe Burrow
team last year
Joe
got
Burrow got dropped, and the winning team picked him up.
Exactly. the Cowboys play weeks 15 through 17. The Jaguars, the Eagles, and the Titans.
They get the Titans in week 17, which is probably going to be one of the worst defenses in the AFC.
The Rams play the Packers, Broncos, Chargers. So 3 shootouts.
Yeah,
potentially there.
I really want to take Leonard Fournette if he is there for us at the 305.
I would.
What other options?
If Aaron Jones is there over Fournette, we are not going Fournette.
Fournette is going to score 100 more points than Aaron Jones probably.
The when you make the fucking money, Aaron Jones could have 2 30-point weeks.
So could Fournette. I don't have a strong.
Aaron
Jones higher than ADP.
Josh Allen in the third.
Aaron Jones goes. Aaron Jones goes.
Okay.
I'm Debo over Fournette.
Smart people have not been on Debo, and I get it. Like I talk about this with Mark Andrews, where his volume just has to go down based on the quarterback rushing stuff and how much they passed last year. Debo's so good. I just don't know. Like
he's either going to like show up all the smart people and be wide receiver 5 again.
I prefer Ayuk quite a bit at cost.
Yeah, every person who thinks they're a fucking genius prefers Ayuk.
I don't prefer Ayuk.
all the 49er beat writers are like, oh, I think it's going to be Ayuk because Lance throws the ball deep. And then Debo could just be the fucking offense again.
DJ Moore goes. Debo and Fournette are on the board. I vote Leonard Fournette, and now we can just free ourselves up to not take another running back for
Debo,
7 rounds.
But I'm also cool with Mike Evans or Mike Williams.
I vote Debo.
You vote
All
Debo?
right.
All right.
I don't feel great about it. But early,
Dude,
I know
we just got the nuts. What do you mean?
I really do think there's a very strong scenario where the passing game is bad and it's very infrequent. Like think about like the worst case scenario for like Baltimore, and then there are really good pass catchers around him. Like
I mean, you don't even have to squint and see what a bad Debo season would look like. It would just be like he gets tackled on the 3 instead of making it into the end zone.
I get it.
4
He was so
times.
efficient last year, but counterpoint. Jimmy G is not good at football. Like I know, like dude, like Trey Lance could actually be good.
Totally.
Nah, this
like
argument,
all this fear about the 49ers passing attack, Trey Lance could actually like throw more yards.
This is not. And also we just cucked ourselves on taking George Kittle with our next pick as well.
Well, that's fine, but we can set up a Trey Lance stack, which I
it's not great because you want to have a really good tight end in this format, and we are not going to have one.
With Debo, the thing that does make me feel good is that before he turned into a running back, he was like a alpha number 1. Like he was like top 5, top 6 in Whopper. So that is on the table. And that that would look like a Marquise Brown plus, right? Like if Marquise Brown was actually good and then had a massive role using the offense as the comparison. So like we know he's not just like gimmicky yak type of guy. Like,
this is not fancy Isaiah McKenzie.
You lead your team out of the tunnel like Debo did with the big old chain with the
That's true. We didn't think about that, but I'm glad.
I'm not nagging Debo, but from a structural perspective, I do think Fournette was. I'm also just like super high, which I hate Leonard Fournette. I think he's bad, but he is so good for fantasy.
Yeah, he's really good.
I got a lot of Fournette this year. Like I'm not trying to say I don't think he's a fine pick, but I just didn't think Debo would be there. Like when you get the gift of Josh Allen going in the 3rd.
Well, the gift we are going to have to root for now is somehow our league mates not liking Darren Waller is our biggest. I actually think maybe we should have taken Waller there.
I thought about bringing that up, but
I was going to say that name too. But I mean, I think we can piece like if you had to, if you take a combo of Logan Thomas, Trey McBride could be the Dawson Knox Schultz Gronk up last year. Just counting that we've been grinding these drafts more and thinking more about these darts. Logan Thomas, Taysom Hill, Trey McBride. There's a lot of guys, most are going to fall on their face, but a guy could emerge. I'm a Dawson Knox guy.
I like Dawson Knox.
Just the touchdown equity for weeks 15 through 17,
Yeah. The last time we talked, we held a funeral for one Albert Okwuegbunam, and
but he has risen. He has risen from the dead.
Dude, I was listening to that in my car. I was like, "You guys are off your rockers." So
that was before Greg Dulcich was.
It was before.
Out,
yeah. So
And I didn't think that was that strong of a possibility. Obviously it was. Had I known that, I've been celebrating. I still think like there's a very real chance where like he's very good for 8 weeks and they're like, he still sucks and Greg Dulcich is the guy. But like for his price, dude, yeah, I'll take a swing on Albert. I'm back on swinging on Albert O's.
Yeah, like Knox, Albert O, Logan Thomas combo, like you're probably
I think that's a fine way to replace the seemingly irreplaceable points of like a Mark Andrews or whatever. So my first choice would just be to get like Waller or Kittle at a value. Probably not Kittle so much anymore, but if he falls enough, I think there's an argument to be made.
I mean, starting Debo and Kittle together is just not going to be a good time. What I was trying to say about Debo is that like Lance could be better for the team, the offense could be better, but it's worse for them as a passing volume perspective because Jimmy is like the definition of just good enough to get guys their numbers in fantasy. Like, I mean, Jimmy was 5th in the NFL last year in EPA per play. Like, he stinks.
Do you think they score more points or less points with Trey Lance?
Probably. What I expect from him at 22 years old,
Schultz goes ahead of Waller.
Schultz goes ahead of Waller.
We're off the rocker.
This guy started Mark Andrews, Javonte Williams. He just wants the combos, bro.
I know that's the thing is like taking Dalton Schultz at the end of the 3rd round is a unique combo. Congrats. And it's like when you get 714,000 in showdown, but it's a unique one. You're like, oh, thank God.
To get Waller, we needed one of these these teams that already have a tight end to not take one. We're like 3% to get.
Let's talk about the wide receivers real quick because I'm higher on Hollywood than the market somewhat. I think there's cases where Hopkins is like no longer Hopkins. Plus, they play Denver, Bucks, and the Falcons. The Cardinals do. They have a terrible defense. They're going to need to throw. Lamar was not the best fit for deep passing with Hollywood. He could be a guy who you could easily like. If a guy gives you a 40-point week, weeks 15 through 17, you just need that guy to win this contest. So, how do you guys feel about like Hollywood versus like Jalen Waddle goes? But like,
I like Amon-Ra St. Brown the most.
See, like I like Amon-Ra, I like Juju, I like Hollywood ceiling more than those guys.
I like Juju more than those guys. But I think the argument is fine for Hollywood as well. I don't have a strong take on any of these. I think Juju
Juju could be dust by the time the money matters.
I mean, if Hopkins come back and he's Hopkins, so could Marquise. Yeah. So
I don't buy that argument. I think Juju is the best mid-round wide receiver pick.
The thing about Hollywood is everyone else, every ancillary piece is injured. So you're talking about needing to get a hot start. Zach Ertz is injured.
Oh, we got one pick to sweat for Waller. Connor goes. We got
on the clock.
Fantasy Maniac wants to take Zeke. Fantasy Maniac wants to take Zeke for sure.
Dude. Come on.
He's got a tight end too.
You need Zeke.
He of course
needs Zeke.
Come on, yeah. Bang the Zeke bell.
And Zeke's the end. As Zeke goes, the Cowboys go. Everyone knows this.
Everyone knows that. The guy that takes
49ers Raiders combo.
What do you think the cumulative ownership of Derrick Henry Zeke teams is? Like it's got to be super high, right?
Yeah.
Oh. No. Fantasy Maniac just punching us in the throat. I vote Juju here.
I vote Juju too.
Well, let's talk about it. Juju's in the queue. Okay. Kittle's there, which we would only choose one of Debo or Kittle for the money weeks, 15 through 17, but the regular season, I think it's fine.
I think you're only choosing one in the money weeks. You can't take them this early. Like, if he falls to the next wraparound, maybe.
You can find the Amon-Ra's, the pennies later in the year. Juju's in the queue again. We got 20 seconds. I like Hollywood more than Juju.
Hollywood's ADP is lower too, right? Like there's a chance we get him.
Hollywood goes in the
we
fifth
can get Hollywood.
So I said we go.
You guys
Juju
are totally
here,
out on Zeke
Hollywood too.
And Breece Hall, right?
Yes.
Okay. Juju it is.
I can't believe Fantasy Maniac goes Kelsey Waller, just owning our soul.
Dude, if he could have gotten Zeke there, man, like, come on, let's make a little trade, Fantasy Maniac.
The only tight end not coming up soon, but of the like Dalton Schultz who already went, TJ Hawkinson and Dallas Goedert tier, like Goddard has everything that is an elite tight end except for volume. And if you think that like I think another thing, all the buzz of the smart people is that you don't act the way that the Eagles have acted to just run the ball again.
No, they're gonna throw more.
So
they're gonna throw more, but like it requires an AJ Brown injury to me, which could happen. I'm out on Hawkinson. I do not want him at all.
No.
Same.
Goddard, I'm more like I think it's just bad to take Goddard in the 5th.
Oh no! I just
In
meant
the 6th.
where's his ADP right now? It's not in the 5th. It's way later, I think.
I would do. I mean, his ADP is 65. We're looking at players, so that's coming up in like the 6th round, basically. And I'm inclined to just say like, if Logan Thomas is healthy versus Goddard, he's going to like Thomas can average 15 points per game, just like
Hollywood went.
Damn.
I mean, I'm not like dying to get Logan Thomas. Like he's just like
Logan Thomas is just
compiler.
The point is anytime you're taking these mid-range tight ends, especially the most expensive, is like you could just be paying to know who your tight end is. Where you can
I think at this stage we are in Alberto, Hunter Henry, David Njoku, Tyler Higbee range.
Yes, Everett.
I'm not taking
because I'd rather get a running back dart than Goddard. Is the thing.
That's fine too. Yeah. If Zeke makes it back
let's
to
keep
here.
a hole on the game here because this dude could just be starving the room of running backs. Or
that's true. We have a 4 running back start. How disgusting.
And we got 4 wide receivers. The only person in this room to do that.
This dude is so amped to start 4 running backs every week in the FFPC.
He's like, these idiots, man, giving me James Conner in the 4th.
I would take Zeke at the 505. I would capitulate.
I would too. But I think he's going to Panthers. That like if you take Josh Allen in the 3rd, you take Zeke in the 5th. That's just that's the Bible right there.
That's true. So if we don't we're not going tight end at this 5th round, mid 5th round spot. I
would consider Mahomes in the 6th.
Yeah, I've watched a few of Davis's main event drafts.
We regretted taking Mahomes.
And it's not that it was a bad spot to take Mahomes. It was just that Russell Wilson was the example, but there seemed to be multiple examples throughout these that like those guys would just go in the
Zeke goes to horns up.
All right, so what are our choices here?
I mean, Breece Hall has a really good playoff schedule, and like is a guy you can at least start. There's a lot of negativity on him. I don't think it's warranted. They play Detroit Jaguars.
I think Deontay is probably our pick.
Let's just look at the.
We are on the clock. Top of the ADP is Deontay Johnson, Breece Hall, Justin Herbert.
Deontay and Breece are the only 2 choices here for me, and I'd go Deontay, but I don't.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the 2v2. Do you prefer Deontay
and Michael Carter versus Breece Hall and McCole Hardman? Give me the
No, that's not the 2v2. The 2v2 is like the Darnell Mooney, Michael Thomas, Metcalf tier, which might make it back to us. Breece Hall and or Deontay and like Elijah Mitchell, Chase Edmonds, J.K. Dobbins.
My thing is that the Elijah Mitchell, Edmonds, Dobbins, Pollard, Ramondre, C.H. Gibson tier. I actually like all of those guys at their cost. Whereas you're starting to hate the wide receivers there. You're starting.
Agreed.
Breece could just be the nuts for the trying to win the tournament.
I like Michael Carter more. I think Michael Carter has a greater chance of being the nuts.
I like his like PPR capability. Deontay went to us.
There we go.
I'm gonna need more than he could be the nuts for any
They
argument.
play Detroit. They play.
I gotta go get a coffee refill.
Go for it.
The Jets play Detroit, Jaguars, Seahawks.
You know who Michael Carter plays those weeks?
Yeah, I get it, but it's like, look, I take Michael Carter too, but in the FFPC, you're going to be taking Michael Carter in like the 9th round. You don't get him in the 13th.
I mean, I'm probably still. I think the tier of those guys that Davis named, like specifically the Ramondre, the CEH, like even J.K. Dobbins, even if like it is kind of a weird build for us because I don't know if he's like startable week 1, maybe. But like those guys have.
I would go J.K. definitely.
I like J.K. Dobbins. I think it might hurt week 1 when he goes out and gets like 12 carries or whatever. But he's the type of guy who I think very clearly has that like by week 5 or 6, he's just like burying his opponents. So,
here's the thing about that tier guys is like we're just competing against teams that got the Ramondre plus tier in the 10th, 11th, 12th, which it's not that big a deal to take a riser, but it doesn't feel great to me to start paying 6th and 7th round costs on teams that have our same build, but also like elite quarterback, tight end, and then got those dudes 9th, 10, 11.
I would venture to say there are very few teams, especially because we got CD so late relative to what he would have gone in
that is
drafts.
a very unique combo, but
that makes it much more palatable to take, one of the risers, right? When those teams were not able to get Cooper Kupp CD. Like, there got to be so few Cooper Kupp CD starts.
That is unique in itself. So that is correct. But
so it cushions the blow of taking a riser a bit when we got a faller that I don't think is falling for any.
This is a slow draft that was done whenever in July. Ramondre went in the 9th. Chase Edmonds went in the 9th. Like the running backs replaced the wide receivers here. Like this is an old draft room just to know the landscape. It feels nice that we have like this guy went Kupp Pitts. Like Pitts used to be cheaper.
I can't wait to post this board and for people to be like, who are you starting at running back 2? Those are your running backs? I can't believe it.
But the point is like this Ramondre, I do not want to get locked out at running back. That is something I definitely like. You see Ramondre.
No, we're gonna fucking smash the button on Ramondre and we're gonna feel great about our running backs.
How do you guys feel about Ramondre versus Pollard?
Ramondre is my favorite running back in fantasy football.
I had 25% last year, so I'm not against him.
I hate that this could be the year Pollard goes nuts because like just every year that Zeke is alive is one more year that he could be dead the next year in terms of fantasy value. But every year that happens, Pollard's price continues going up. So I don't have nearly as much Pollard as I would have thought if you told me, like you're gonna have like 12% Pollard or whatever 3 months ago. I'm like, there's no way. But like he's just so expensive that I think he's very priced in.
Pollard is just clearly a worse pick than Ramondre.
Yeah,
you can start Ramondre in week 1.
For our team, yes. Breece Hall can make it to us. I think Patterson is a target we should consider.
Totally.
And I really would like Penny on this team if we could get Penny.
I
like Penny. I haven't been drafting much Patterson. I think that team is terrible, and his usage last year was
he could be the slot wide receiver,
it's buying an archetype that has essentially never existed before. And that's I don't want to bet on that level of outlier, especially when they're on a bad team. If you told me like he played for the Chiefs, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll take shots on that guy. But like the weird hybrid player that we've never seen work before until 6 games last year plays on the Falcons this year again. Now they've got worse quarterback play. I haven't been drafting.
It's just like a guy who like you could start Penny Patterson and then be like, great, I'm not going to start this league 0-4 because I was getting 5 points from my running back.
If AJ Dillon is still on the board when we pick somehow, I would like to run to the podium for that.
How do we feel about the Montgomery and Akers guys?
I like both of their backups.
I'm with Akers. It wouldn't be my favorite pick. I'm not taking Dave Montgomery. He's one that I'm just going to let the market beat me, right? Every year we see these types of truly dead zone, not good running backs. And this year we've been pricing them in a little better. I'm going to wait till the year where they actually hit. And that's the year I'll start considering them at whatever price they're at.
So are we in agreement that we're going to go RB here likely?
Depending on what's there.
I mean, just looking at the queue, it's like all running backs.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's good though. That means I think we played the draft.
I actually think that means it went our way. Yeah.
Well, what we got lucky about here is the quarterback started to going, which they don't always go in the 5th and 6th. Sometimes it gets bumped down.
No, sometimes they get bumped. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get it Dylan obviously is choice 1.
Dylan over Akers.
I think Mitchell's my 2.
I like Mitchell. I don't,
we do have Debo though.
Obviously don't love him with Debo. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't love him with Debo. I just don't love him in general either.
I mean, Dylan,
who's going to be the running back there for the Niners? For
Dylan,
if Mitchell is not the guy.
Jeff Wilson
I think
Jr.
That was my pick too. Not that like Jeff Wilson goes out and gets the first 20 carries, right? But I think it wouldn't shock me if it was more of a committee, especially seeing how banged up we got Eli down the stretch last year. And they love Jeff Wilson, man. That That dude will be inactive 2 weeks and then come back and score 2 touchdowns on 6 goal line carries the next week.
Not a big Jordan Mason guy.
They cut him.
No, he's on the team.
Good for him.
Yeah, they kept 5 runs. They kept. Oh no, they cut.
They cut Sermon for him.
Yeah. Mason might be a good special teamer.
Unlimited power is going to cuck us.
Don't do it. Fantasy Maniacs.
Or no, Fantasy Maniacs. Sorry.
Fantasy Maniacs doesn't want us to live a good life.
Guys, after our picks, can we get your Star Wars impressions? Because I have a pretty good Palpatine.
Mine's just okay.
What I'm trying to think of the iconic quote I always say, like, yes, all right.
Let's go. He takes Akers. Let's take Dylan.
You cool with Dylan, Kyle?
No problems with Dylan. I'm not like dying to get AJ Dillon like committee back in the 6th round.
I'm not either,
but if it's our build, he has a ton of upside. He looked really good as a pass catcher last year too, which was like that blows my mind because he caught like it was literally like 10 passes in college. He was like,
we might not even start Dylan week 1. Is
possible, yeah.
Depending who we fill it out with. Like if we go Penny Patterson, like week 1 rolls, I don't know.
Yeah.
The real question is, are you guys going to let me put forth Clyde Edwards-Helaire if he's still there or not?
No.
You're getting 2 votes. I can tell you how the votes are going already.
Yeah.
Kyle, you're out on CEH?
No, he's in.
No, I'm in. He's getting 2 votes for Davis and Clyde.
Christ, you guys are trying to ruin our team here. He has Ronald Jones competing with him. He has Jerick McKinnon who's taking the pass down work. Isaiah Pacheco could just be better at football.
I think the Pacheco thing was short-lived. I think we are not going to hear from Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, Pacheco was like one of the worst like production level college prospects we've seen in recent years.
Do not take a ground and pound running back on one of the pass heaviest teams in the league. Like when are you ever feeling good?
He's not a ground and pound running back. He's a receiving back. That's what he did in college.
He's not playing third downs.
What if I told you he is?
You don't do like Jerick McKinnon did good shit last year, man.
Yeah, they also waited till like the middle of summer to bring him back.
Yeah, they didn't sign him until
he's
July.
Like you don't need to. They're not dumb as a team. Like they don't need to do.
No, but the whole NFL said this guy's worth.
Oh, Ramondre went. That is.
If CEH is the piece you need this year, I lose.
That's not a bet I'd be willing to bet against. Like I get that, like he's probably not good. I get why you wouldn't like him, but he's a player that I wouldn't go into any like. So I wouldn't go out of the summer with like 0. I have a lot of him. I get that he's not particularly
good. How many
good.
passing touchdowns versus rushing touchdowns do you see the Chiefs scoring this year?
They'll score a lot of touchdowns, and he can catch passing touchdowns. I mean, the entire NFL said Jerick McKinnon is almost not worth a roster spot because they let him go.
So why would you guys go Jude? Why are you cool with Juju CEH but not Debo Mitchell? You know, like that's
because it's about Mahomes. It's a Mahomes centric view of the universe.
About Mahomes is why I think we should go J.K. Dobbins for sure if he makes it to us, and
I'm fine with that too.
Care about week 1.
We already
that would be a tough blow to week 1.
Yeah, we already don't have a running back. We feel like J.K. Dobbins is not a fast start guy, and also J.K. Dobbins might just be David Montgomery or Josh Jacobs on the Ravens.
J.K. Dobbins is very talented. I will say that.
He's way better than
we are on the clock. I vote CH, but I will not throw a temper tantrum if we take Dobbins.
JK or Josh Jacobs.
I will. Well, I'm voting JK over that other one. Jesus Christ.
Definitely.
Ravens play
JK.
Ravens play the Browns.
I mean, you're not finding a better Week 17 finisher than CH against the Broncos. It's not happening.
Week 17 doesn't matter. It's the whole. Here's who the Ravens are going to run the shit out of the ball on the Browns, Falcons, and Steelers for the 3-game stretch where all the money is. He doesn't catch passes.
Those I don't know. The Browns should be really good by week 17. And 16,
they could have given up on football. The whole team could have revolted on them.
Okay, sure. Yes, sure. The whole team could just give up.
Falcons and Steelers, those should be 2 of the worst teams in the league.
The Vegas would say you're wrong about the Steelers. Falcons suck. You're right there. But
what's Vegas got the Steelers wins at?
Like 8, 7.5. They're like mid-tier. Just worst team in football.
That's egregious. 8 wins? No way.
I'll pull it up, but it's something pretty vanilla, pretty bland.
I like our start. And Dylan and Dobbins, sure, we're gonna be searching for points week 1, but we're gonna just, the whole thesis of zero RB is we can outdraft this room at RB. And when I've done,
well, the thesis is that we get this year's Eli Mitchell or James Robinson off the waiver wire. Is
Jalen Moore, baby? That's our guy. I think the high stakes community is hip to him.
To Jalen Warren.
Yeah, thanks a lot for that. Why did you release that waiver wire thing on Monday, Davis? Release that bad boy tomorrow after our main event draft. What are you doing?
Yeah, just release it right now.
We have one last main event draft, and you release the audio the day before. Come on now.
No one listens, bro. People don't care.
I listen. What are your listens on those? You can't see the Apple listens, can you?
They're pretty high. Like it's like 5,000 an episode for the fantasy football show.
Oh Jesus, thanks, man.
You know.
How many of those are FFPC grinders, though?
Yeah,
they saw Davis's hair in the thumbnail, and they were like, "This guy isn't my."
It's
type
not
of
ESPN home grinders.
CPAT goes at the 7-9.
Enjoy it.
This guy,
I'm not drafting CPAT.
This guy out of the 9 is just getting good combos. He took Goddard and Hawkinson. He went early on Godwin. Got a falling Najee Harris. He's feeling good.
I'm just gonna start using good combos as slang for your team's not very good. Got some really unique combos on.
Yeah, you got some unique combos.
It won't always be accurate.
Outscores Juju if both are healthy.
Well, one of them's not healthy, so that's gonna be.
Well, one of them's trending healthy, and one of them is trending.
I like Godwin too. I can't bicker about those two. I have a ton of Godwin. He just never seemed to, at least in best ball, his price never really corrected for the fact that he's 50-50, 60-40, something, in that range to play week 1. It's not looking terrible for him to not play then. So I end up getting a lot of him late in the summer to correct for not having a ton early.
I think a dream pick to slide to us is Penny.
I love Penny. Yeah. Melvin Gordon also.
Over
Clyde, man. What if Clyde got him?
I would not take Gordon over Hunt, Gibson, Sanders, Harris.
I'm shocked that Liam is in line with all the backwards hat bros on CH without seeing how obvious his league winning potential is.
Yeah, he seems like, if you're talking about players who could just absolutely dominate in any given week, I love Penny, but that team's going to make 2 red zone trips a week.
Yeah, he's going to be on the worst. He's going to be on the worst team in football, and he's got a 2nd-round pick competing with him, and he doesn't even catch passes.
He has one dude competing with him versus 4 pass catchers and 3 other running
backs.
How did Ronald Jones get lumped in with pass catchers? Please stop.
Yeah, Homer.
I'm talking about the wide receivers are this. The wide receivers on the Seahawks don't compete as much because they can't throw the fucking football.
I don't care how many guys he has competing with them if they all suck. The whole NFL was Ronald Jones is not good. He's worth the least you can pay a running back nearly. He's $200,000 more than the vet minimum. The entire NFL is
why didn't they cut him then?
Because you have to fill out a 53-man roster.
Yeah.
They kept 4 running backs. That's unusual.
They have a guy whose legs were dead as a year ago, a 7th-round rookie who put up 600 yards at Rutgers. Sure, I get why they kept one final back.
Yeah.
CEH might make it back to us, and I would begrudgingly be fine with it.
I don't think he'll make it back. We're so far away. And Penny goes at 7-8 turn. So,
you guys don't think Gibson outscores CEH?
Hell no.
No.
I mean, I know that the signal's been real bad.
Way worse team.
Sanders is another piece where he could have
the writing. I was listening to you on Sanders when we started potting early in the season, but the writing is on the wall. He's already banged up. Gainwell looked good. Boston Scott was getting rested in the preseason. The writing is on the wall for Sanders. It's not happening.
Yeah, I'm totally down to when teams tell us they don't like their running backs to agree and not take them. They've told us they don't like Josh Jacobs. They told us they don't want to use Antonio Gibson how we want.
They have the best O-line. I agree with you. He could totally be cucked by Scott, and they signed Trey Sermon. What about Tony? Are we out on Tony with this build?
No, I think Tony is a good pick for us, but we really might get CEH here.
But I think a way this team could go is we stop at 5 wide receivers.
No, you want
and just go
6.
all running back darts, all tight end darts.
I'd want the 6th receiver.
Why? I guess
because one of these guys is going to get hurt. One of these guys is going to bust.
You can't afford to lose.
5 is not enough. 6 might not be enough.
Might not be, but I'd at least be comfortable if the draft could work out to where 6 is fine with what I'm.
I would actually feel more comfortable stopping at 5 had we taken Kittle and then done another wide receiver.
We can't stop at 5 because we have 3 wide receivers who have a week 9 bye. So
yikes. Yes, agreed. We can't stop at 5. Might not even be able to stop at 6. But
well, and Tony has a week 9 bye, so it doesn't help us there. But
look, how much does week 9 really matter?
Someone please.
We're gonna be 8-0 by then. Who do the Chiefs play in week 9? Chiefs week 9.
Here's the thing about CEH.
They play the Titans.
Here's the thing about CEH to me. Are you ever wanting to bet against the Chiefs passing game?
I don't think it's a bet against the Chiefs passing game.
Yeah, what if I told you CH is a bet on the Chiefs passing game?
If he gets like the workhorse role like that.
Also, this, by the way,
if he's Fournette, I agree with you.
I do want to push back. Like there is this thing where like he says he weighed 160 pounds at the beginning of training camp. I've talked about this with both of you guys.
Why didn't no one see that?
If CH had 1,200 yards and 10 touchdowns this season, no one's batting a fucking eye. Everyone's like, "Yep, I guess he just did it."
Yeah, he would. I think the perfect profile for him.
Let CH tank you 3 years in a row. Are you just buying because he's at his cheapest?
I'm buying Hardman too, buddy. You gotta ride it to the bottom. What's the point of getting off early? Fantasy Maniac can do it to us one more time.
I think the perfect comp for CH would be like the 15 touchdown Mark Ingram season, right?
Or how about the Leonard Fournette gets cut by the Jaguars after being terrible for his whole career?
Did we get him?
All right, CH is in the queue, but let's talk about it.
Smash it. I am hearing no counter arguments.
Let's just talk about our next round.
Sure. Yeah, we got the time on the clock. Let's use it.
We can take Traylon Burks with our next selection and ride and feel very good about our.
I think Knox should be in consideration for our next pick.
I'm in on Knox with our next pick. I think
I'll give CH because I do look. I agree. He could do it to me. I feel good to get my one share on a main event.
There you go.
Now you are properly hedged.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, exactly. I think also with our team, we could tie break towards Bills and Rams players a little bit because we get the freebie information and winning week 1 is important in the fast start where you can play the players Thursday night and bench them if they don't do well.
Like Isaiah McKenzie,
Zach Moss as like a last one guard.
You can bench them if they don't do well.
Yeah, so you play them in the Thursday night game, and then if they don't score the points
you can remove them from your lineup.
All right, I knew you could cut players that had played from the Thursday night game. I didn't know you could bench them. Yes,
only the first week.
Only the first game because they still have live drafts.
Oh, that's right. That's why. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, Zach Ertz. I'm actually sweating Dawson Knox. I know the Underdog boys really like Knox too. Like done really well versus man.
Yeah, they're the only dudes with me. Like everyone else.
I know. I'm in on it.
Terrain hates them. You're in on them.
I'm maybe not stumping as hard as they are. You are, but especially in like.
I posted my exposures today. I have like 35% Knox on Underdog.
In 2020, the Chiefs were the opening game against the Houston Texans. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire had 150 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, brother, I remember that game, and that's the reason why I drafted a lot of Jordan Akins last year.
Sammy Watkins
good in that game.
Sammy Watkins, by the way, 7 for 82 and a touchdown in week 1 of that week. He was up to like a 7th round pick.
I'm in on taking a combo of Watkins, Watson, and like saying like maybe we caught the Packers won. Christian Watson.
I would bet anything against Watkins being the Packers one. Not that he's not
the Josh Allen team, of course.
Yeah, that makes sense. Not that he's not like a fine enough value. Like I can't be stumping too hard for Randall Cobb if I'm saying you shouldn't take Sammy Watkins. But like I wouldn't say you have a chance at getting the one.
I say we definitely don't go wide receiver here, and that we choose between. And I'm going to kind of list these guys how I view it.
I would actually vote Damian Harris or Melvin Gordon here.
James Cook. I think James Cook is with us having Dylan Dobbins, CH, Cook could be the league winner late in the season. And we get the freebie to start in week 1.
Yeah, but I feel like he's a very slow start.
I don't like James Cook. I am much less high on him. I think Singletary is going to play a lot.
Singletary is so bad.
Singletary is definitely more impacted if Moss is actually a thing in the red zone than Cook is. Cook's bull case is whatever. He's getting like 5 catches at the beginning of the year. And then they're like, God damn, we can't keep this guy off the field, but he's electric after the catch. And he makes our team so scary because he's actually explosive. And Moss and Singletary's 40 times are like 4-7.
The other thing we should think about is
Henderson.
We took Kupp. Never mind. I was thinking Burrow. I thought we had Chase for a second. Is taking Burrow here, but no.
I think we should not consider a quarterback here because we can go Dak or Stafford whenever we want because only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more teams need a quarterback.
Yeah, I'm fine going full out weight on quarterback and try and get one of like the mid tier, like good passer types.
And someone's gonna have to cut someone, like.
So your queue. Go ahead, read off your queue, but I would make an adjustment to it. But
I have, and this is not. I'm open to any of these guys. I have Miles Sanders, top O-line in football, who it could be, and he's like a breakaway guy where if we need points. Week 16, if we realize we're behind, he could get
are we all? Run. No one wants to go with Melvin Gordon on me here. Like
I would just keep waiting on him.
He's just not a guy. He's a guy you get next round. Miles Sanders, James Cook, Devin Singletary.
Devin Singletary for me.
Singletary, yeah.
You guys are Singletary over Cook.
Yeah.
Okay. Guys wearing his fucking Josh Allen jersey, telling us he's going to come back. He's going to come back to us in 9 weeks and be like, "You guys."
Y'all are telling the Bills fan right now to go take. Which
you know what? We actually have enough floor with Dylan and CH. I will capitulate. I will go James Cook.
I don't agree, but it's not a big deal. Like I'm not too like James Cook is a very interesting good player.
I realize that Cook has a super low floor, right? Mm-hmm. Like I realize he's a guy who we're like, God damn, we spent a 9th round pick on this dude. But he's also the only dude who could be like Travis Etienne, Kamara-esque.
I'm fine with it. It's not a hard stance I'll make against. So. And
Singletary has a nice ceiling. He has like 180 points in his range of outcomes. But like we have like with Dylan, Dobbins, CH, like that's a solid crew.
Oh yeah, I think this team is quite good. This is how I would build like I don't know if you quite call it 6-round running back, basically 0 RB. This is how I build one of these teams, and
I like this team quite a bit. Yeah. And Davis, you're going to be the one making official start sits for us and doing waivers for this team, right?
Yeah, sure.
Thank Christ. You want to know why this is my only main event team? I can't stand the idea of managing a fantasy football league.
Bro, I'm dreading these
main event waivers. Main event waivers for like the first couple weeks of the season are actually pretty fun.
I got that.
But by like week 7. When you're doing it for a team that like is pretty much already dead, but you spent so much money on it, you can't let it really die. It gets a little bit difficult.
It's like late swapping in DFS when you're like mostly dead, but you're like, what if I could min cash some of these? Jesus Christ, let me put all these terrible players into my lineups, and then you definitely don't min cash anyways.
Yes, that it is essentially the exact same thing. So Cooper Kupp, CeeDee Lamb, Deebo Samuel, Juju Smith-Schuster, Deontay Johnson, A.J. Dillon, J.K. Dobbins, C.H. James Cook. I guess we'll start Dillon, C.H. week 1. So that's fine.
No, yeah. We start
he like trips over something, I think.
Oh, yeah. We start Cook and take a peek. And then if he does bad, we start C.H.
Yes. Or Dobbins if he's playing.
Dobbins is not going to. I'm starting to do our projections right now, and I'm projecting him out.
Why is this thing coming in weird for me? Is my audio weird to y'all?
You might. I think it sounds the same. I can't tell.
It hasn't changed. It definitely hasn't changed.
It's coming in weird on my headphones. Maybe
Oh, yeah, that's a you problem.
Yeah. So, Alberto next round. Alberto 10th round. Alberto Kuibunum.
No, way too early.
Yeah. How early?
I mean, he is by ADP, he is the 2nd tight end in the queue. So I disagree that it's too early. This is so we also have 1, 2, 3 teams that don't have a tight end yet. So I disagree. It is too early.
Like this Komet team, like this guy's going to load up on tight ends. But let's talk about tight ends that have a similar ceiling to Alberto.
Travis Kelce and Kyle Pitts. That's it.
take a break for a second.
No, I think it is in our like if Alberto is the third pass catcher in Denver's offense, he can have 900 yards and 11 touchdowns.
Agreed, but like Tunyon has a ceiling. Everett has less.
Tunyon might not even play week 1.
Yeah. Agreed. That's not really my main concern. Logan Thomas has a ceiling.
Logan Thomas you have got to divorce yourself from Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas was really good when he was
old.
No, he literally required a 100%. You do not see things like this in the NFL anymore. He had a 100% snap share for multiple weeks, and he turned in one of the grossest compiling seasons I have ever seen for the 2020 Washington football team. 72 receptions, 670 yards, 6 touchdowns, with 4 of those touchdowns coming in the first month of the season. He is an aggressively mediocre pick.
Wentz loves those tight ends.
I don't actually think that's true. In fact,
I honestly don't remember playing a lot of Jack Doyle last year or Mo Alley Cox.
Well, that's the Colts philosophy. But let's say
Wentz threw 502 passes last year, and less than 100 of them went to tight ends.
Here's the running backs I'd like to go over Albert O. Sanders, Gordon, White.
Gordon or White, I would snap. Yes.
Dude,
are we
Walker too? Walker goes. And maybe Madison and like there's cases where Mostert is the dude there.
This feels very early for Mostert, but I don't disagree. He's a good pick in a vacuum, but at 10th round Raheem Mostert.
Well, no, whatever. 11th round, 12th round, something to think about. He's steaming up boards. But there's millions of running backs I convince myself on. And he's like, again, the game theory aspect of this is week 15, you start your team. If you realize you're 40 points in the hole to win, you need to start playing some boom bust guys. You cannot just roll out a chalk lineup that has overlap, right? So like that's where you might play an MBS, a Mostert, whatever, a lower owned tight end to try to make up points on first place.
Yeah, but and like guys, if your roster is going to change so much in 13 weeks, like we're going to cut James Cook, dude. You know,
we're not cutting James Cook.
It's gonna happen.
We're not fucking cutting.
Buddy, let me tell you, I've done a lot of main events. You cut guys you would never have imagined cutting.
No, look.
This time last year, someone's like, "We're not cutting Trey Sermon. How would we cut Trey?"
Yeah, we can't. I took Trey Sermon on a team that won its league, and we cut him in week 5.
Well, y'all should
even held on that.
I was out on Sermon.
Well, remember Mitchell got hurt. The only reason
we have to take Miles Sanders if he makes it to us here.
I know that's what I'm thinking about. I really don't want to, but it's such a deep fall for a team that like if Dobbins doesn't play week 1, James Cook is like a flop or whatever. It's definitely possible.
And again, Sanders is breakaway speed, man. Like he's a guy.
Sanders versus AJ Dillon for the week 1 start and the week 2 and the week 3 and the week 4. I get the argument for it in the 10th round. I don't want to do it, but like I understand what you're saying.
I like Melvin Gordon straight up over him. I think everything you could say about Miles Sanders is true for Melvin Gordon, except Melvin Gordon is like a lock to be a startable guy and only shares with one other guy instead of 2 other guys.
Yeah, like I don't love it. I get it.
Miles Sanders is 25.
Jerick McKinnon's 31, and he played 80% of the snaps in the Super Bowl.
Can't be negging McKinnon and then start, positively him.
I can do it.
You cannot take a 32-year-old over a 25-year-old.
Hey, Liam, I can do whatever I want. I can use whatever data point I want to make my case.
I just think Sanders is still a good pick. It's hard to know what weeks to start him potentially, but again.
I think Melvin Gordon is the proper selection.
So Albert O is the top tight end remaining in the.
Yeah, I vote Alberto. I vote Alberto.
And the eyes have it.
Guys, wait 1 second here. But he has an ADP of 124, and I guarantee
That ADP, that's like saying Dameon Pierce has an ADP of 125, dude.
Also, Team 1 does not have a tight end yet.
Team 1 does not have a tight end. He's not coming back around.
He's not going to reach on ADP like that.
He is. He will. He reached on.
I would rather go Romeo Dubs over.
Look at his queue. He reached on everyone. He reached on every guy he took. He reached on Pickens.
Sanders is the only guy I want. You guys got the next 3 rounds.
Alberto.
We vote Alberto. You have been overruled. You've been overruled.
Don't click a button yet. I promise you, on life.
He's not making it. I believe you. I believe you that
I will buy. I will buy 5% of this team to take Sanders.
No.
The Albertos.
Albertos have it. He might not even get.
Sanders went in the first round of fantasy.
So did CH, and you didn't want to take CH.
CH was the 1-on-1 in all the dynasties I was in.
I hate it. If Sanders makes it back, which he won't because the one hole went 0 RB.
I mean, totally. If Sanders makes it back, but that's the thing you said about Alberto.
But
he makes it back. They're trying to build a team to win week fucking 1.
Gainwell, no. I want a team that can have the guy who scores the most points at tight end, which I don't think Irv Smith or Mike Gesicki can do.
To not take a running back on this team there between Sanders or Melvin Gordon, I think was a big mistake.
I mean, look, when Clyde Edwards-Helaire is pumping out 1.5 touchdowns a week.
The 11th. We just took the earliest share of Albert O in the whole FFPC.
I guarantee
that's such a
not
unique
true.
combos.
Yeah, dude, that unique combo, bro. Did you think about it?
Everybody.
But dude, everyone else hates Albert O than us. Like we would have gotten.
That's how you know you're right.
I guarantee this guy picking at a number 1. I would bet my bottom dollar had we not taken him, he would have snapped Alberto right there.
And also, there's also a very strong chance that the team with Zach Ertz and Dawson Knox would double up in tight end premium on tight ends in the
100%. This guy's about to have to take a super shitty. This guy's about to have to take Gerald Everett here.
Romeo Dubs could score 200 points in fantasy this year.
What if it's all been a smokescreen and Christian Watson has actually been ahead of him this entire time?
Great, then we could have done Dubs and Watson and guaranteed us a breakout.
You can just take Watson and guarantee.
We can just take Sammy Watkins and Watson.
The classic mistake in fantasy is to reach on these tight ends that are going to give you 100 points over the course of the season.
I will bet you right now, Alberto Kuibunum scores more than 100 PPR points.
Look, I have a big Albert O bag, but he's a guy who and look, the one hole takes 2 running backs.
Well, because he didn't have Alberto on the board, of course.
And we're about to get a running back we like anyway. The two hole is going to take.
Passed on Miles Sanders at running back 42.
I can.
Also, given how much the team doesn't like Miles Sanders, I could very much see Kenneth Gainwell being.
He's just not been practicing. This is the classic fish move where he's not practicing before the season. He's going to go out and play.
No, he said he doesn't like his role and he wants to get more touches. He literally doesn't like his team, and I'm sure they don't like him.
They have the best O-line, man.
They don't like him. That O-line's going to do great for Kenneth Gainwell and Boston Scott.
Liam is so upset. Liam just got to meet the dark side of co-managing teams.
Unlimited power.
This happened to me. This happened to me with the ETR guys and JJ and Reeves, where they made me take Terry McLaurin, who I just do not like.
Oh, that
would have been a good value though, which I thought was.
I would have ended stream if Melvin Gordon makes it to us.
See, this guy takes Pacheco. Well. This guy takes Stafford. We are about to get a running back. We're about to get Melvin Gordon here. Melvin Gordon, better pick than Miles Sanders, definitively.
Are you fine with Gordon, Kyle? Another thing
to. I don't know. I wouldn't say
Dak is the only guy that
every team but us has a quarterback. I don't think we need to. Dak can come back to us.
Agreed. All right, so we're gonna do Gordon.
I'm not
a little bit better to get him.
I'm not going as far to say Melvin Gordon is a better pick than Miles Sanders, but I think the 2v2 we got is far better having the Gordon.
Yeah. Would you rather have
Gordon? Is if Javonte goes down, sure, Gordon's a better pick. Agreed.
I mean, the beats are saying it's literally a 50-50.
To begin the season, great. And I mean, Hackett does.
We might need a guy. We literally might need to start Melvin Gordon in week 2.
Also, that's the same argument for Miles Sanders that he should start the year as the starter. I'd bet against him ending the year as the starter.
Yeah, same.
He just ran so cold on touchdowns last year.
Because they hate him. It's just very clear that the organization literally is like, I guess you're fine enough, and we don't want to put more resources at running back. But I mean, they didn't extend, like, this was the year they had to decide on his contract, and they're just like, no, you're good, dude.
You guys don't think? I don't know, man. There's just so many. Like, I take Albert O because he could be the dude, but there's a lot of tight ends to like. There's a lot of tight ends.
I disagree that any tight end that goes after him has the same upper.
Irv Smith has the same case.
Except his quarterback is worse, and he plays with more talented players. He plays with Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen.
Like, you're talking about 4,800 passing yards versus like 46. Like, that's not
what I'm projecting for Russell Wilson this year.
I think KJ Osborne is better than KJ Hamler too in terms of what they've done.
Maybe
down in the NFL.
Washington is the dog in the Broncos.
You're just arguing against yourself right now because you're mad. You don't even believe what you're saying. You know that Albert O is good in this shit tier of tight ends.
I don't think KJ Hamler's bad at football. Like,
I don't think KJ Hamler's bad at football either.
KJ Hamler's drawn very live to be the two, like, who knows with that team, you know?
Well, what I'm saying is Albert O scored 13 touchdowns as a true freshman at Missouri.
Are we really referencing college stats right now?
He's also been good every time they've given him snaps.
No, look, I agree, man. But if you're talking about the teams shown he's hate him, you guys literally spent an hour talking about how
facts. Hold on. Let's not twist facts
Albert
against
O.
me like this. I don't like where this is going.
Like, y'all spent the whole hour talking about how Hackett has spent nothing but talking about how much he hates Albert O.
All right, I don't like facts when you use them this way.
Albert O is the Miles Sanders of tight ends, is what we're saying effectively.
That's a very good way to put it.
Zero RB, man.
We started 0 TE too, though, in tight end premium. To be fair,
yeah,
I get it. Like, I'm not super strong on this take, but I will say I'm much better like the 2v2 we got.
I think Albert O and Melvin Gordon is so much better than Miles Sanders and Tyler Higbee. Yeah.
I agree.
Who, by the way,
what about Miles Sanders and Irv Smith? Like,
still think it's better.
Let's pretend the Kittle guy takes Albert O, so he doesn't take Smith.
I still think ours is better.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, the thing about ours is we're never comfortably starting Gordon and Albert O for the money weeks. Like,
incorrect, completely incorrect.
I disagree.
If we're heading into the money weeks, Albert O
win this fucking contest. You can't have two dudes putting up 15 points apiece.
That would never happen. Two teammates, 15 points. How could such a thing possibly happen?
We would only be starting Melvin Gordon in the money rounds if Javonte has been removed from the equation somehow.
Sure.
Also,
there are cases where there's a lot of injuries, blah blah blah.
Or if Javonte is injured and Albert O is sitting at like a nice 16% target share in that Broncos offense, we're not even discussing start sits. Like, we're just starting them both.
Yeah. I guess it's just I'm not ready to say Miles Sanders is dead. And like,
I don't think he's dead. I think that he's the exact wrong type of guy to take in the main event, though.
In the FFPC, that's like
I wouldn't have passed on him if we took Waller over Debo. I would have taken him in the 9th. I would have taken him over James Cook. We're needing different things for this team. I don't think Sanders has a ton of ceiling because I think he will be in a timeshare with his quarterback, who is the best goal line rusher on the team anyway, and at least Gainwell, if not Gainwell and Scott.
If Sanders is a guy who, again, week 15, you get the info of how far behind you are of winning $1 million if we make the playoffs. And Sanders is a guy who you're like, week 16, like, I'm 60 points in the hole. I need a lower owned boom bust guy. Sanders has shown breakaway touchdowns before. Like,
Miles Sanders has 12 touchdowns in his career on 584 touches. I just am really not sweating it that much.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a terrible pick. I'm with you there. And I don't feel that, like, I like the Albert O. Gordon. Like, that's a pretty good combo.
We literally got a better sum
product. It feels great to go like Eno Benjamin and Brian Robinson just went, and J.D. McKissick and Jamal Williams.
Correct.
So I think we're going to take Dak here.
We just take
unless
Dak.
You guys want to take Gallup first and then Dak.
Dak.
Yeah.
Why
Rashad
would
White's- no,
anyone
he
like
went
this
away.
dude has 2 quarterbacks. The one hole's not doing quarterback. He needs tight ends. The dude with Josh Allen is not going Dak, right? Or do we just not know what that wild card's doing?
I think Rashad White already went.
Yeah, no, sorry.
Yeah,
I was just missed him on the board. He went a while ago.
Yeah.
I would be
Most are still
also
there.
fine with another tight end here because totally Alberto is super risky. And I think like David Njoku would be a strong pick here.
He's gone.
He's
Did he
gone.
just go? Literally. Oh, okay. My feed's just slower. All right.
I would
Fine
say
Dak.
Mostert or Gallup, and then we take Dak on the wrap.
Ooh, I like Gallup to fit our. We will only need receiver points in like 2 to 3 weeks this year, and
He's
those will
another
happen
week
when
9
he's-
guy, which is not ideal for our team, but
Oh, he's another week 9 guy. Jesus,
He's
all the
got
good
this-
players.
He's got the same buy as
I'm
CD.
in on Julio.
are you, seriously? All
I
right.
love Julio.
I like Wandale more than Julio and Shark.
That's okay. Well,
I'm
that's
putting
the-
Dak in the queue. We have 30 seconds to talk this out. I'm putting Mostert in the queue. I feel like he should be the pick, honestly.
I actually think Mostert is a good pick. Yeah.
fine with that. I also have no complaints about that one. Go for it.
Okay.
The only thing about
Mostert is old Miles Sanders. So
Yeah.
that's like I'm good
Yeah.
with that.
I'm also fine to appease you because he totally is old Miles Sanders.
he is totally old Miles Sanders.
He's also better Miles Sanders. He's so good. Raheem Mostert is so good. He's gonna break
Fastest
every
player
bone
in
in his
the NFL
body.
last year.
Last year, definitely not. He played like 6 snaps last year.
Yeah, he had the fastest recorded play in the NFL last year.
Did he? I
Yes.
thought that was 2 years ago.
No, it was last year before he went down. It was week 1.
I know he
only-
has like also 3 or 4 of the fastest runs or whatever they call them, ball carrier
Yeah.
plays. He has like 3 of the top like 6 in the past 4 years, and he's
So
played like
if-
12 games.
Real quick, if someone doubles up on quarterback and snipes Dak, I think we could consider McKenzie too to get a non-week 9 guy and allows us to play him.
The take a peek.
Yeah.
30 points week 1 against the
And,
Rams.
and honestly, if it's not Davis exploding, if it's not if Diggs slows down, like McKenzie could be this like 10 catch per game monster. Like that's totally in the range.
And I guess who are we starting week 1 at court? I guess like Rodgers or Kirk Cousins.
And then we'll just take our pick of like whoever's left at Carr, Rodgers.
Well, little
Fields.
Rogers Watson.
We can do like
backdoor.
Fields Malik Willis combo, something like that.
Man, how sick would it be to have Malik Willis in the FFPC main event and he's just ripping off 80-yard rushing games?
Jameis Winston is a guy who I would comfortably
He's
start.
got that amazing matchup week 1 against the Falcons too. Yeah.
Also, he's like my highest owned quarterback because I think like he has good pass catchers. The Saints did not last year. If he's healthy, he could approach whatever Brady type passing, Carr's type passing.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get Dak though. I don't think either of these I don't think these teams are gonna snake us.
Yeah, this guy double tap tight end, which makes sense.
Brevin Jordan is actually a good pick.
In the 14th round, I would seriously consider Warren because he's getting a lot of buzz.
I agree. Yeah.
Fine with me.
And like what he did in the preseason and the training camp, and Najee had Liz Frank, like a little bit Liz Frank that no one's really like talking about.
Yeah, that was so weird.
Yeah.
And he's not Benny Snell. So we're going Dak, right?
Yep, Dak.
Okay.
I mean, that really was so bizarre though for them to come out and be like, by the way, I have a Liz Frank injury.
Hey, well, at least he told us about the surgery, and we, unlike Clyde Edwards-Helaire, find out about the gallbladder thing a year later.
Do y'all have AirPods? I'm getting it in like both my ears rather than like a unison thing.
No, I
like,
think
do
you're
I press a
having a
button
stroke.
or something?
I have them.
Yeah, I'm
I have
getting like
AirPods.
maybe I try it now.
Are you good? You might just. I mean, AirPods are famously very fickle technology, so you might just.
I
need
like
to-
walked out of range and it's been here. I'm gonna
Yeah.
just put them away and then try it again like this.
Love that.
The classic blow in the cartridge technique.
Yeah. When do we take the 49ers defense, who is like the ultimate fast start DST? Absolutely love it.
What'd you say?
49ers defense, bro. I just want to take
Eagles
them on.
D, man. Eagles D has a really fast start.
No team has the combination of a better defense and playing Justin Fields and Geno Smith the first 2 weeks. I mean, they literally might be averaging 20 fantasy points per game after those first 2 weeks.
The Saints defense is also, but the Eagles start with the Lions, the Vikings, the Commanders, the Jaguars.
I don't think the Lions or the Vikings will be that fantasy friendly.
But they're teams that like pass, and we want basically to be playing defenses that can score touchdowns because we want to build up that average score to make it less likely we're caught if we make the playoff rounds.
Sure, I guess.
We want a higher variance route with our defenses, I think.
No, I just want to get the points to start.
Yeah, I think I'm playing Geno Smith and Justin Fields is high enough variance, but
yeah,
I don't. I was in a home league draft recently, and I took the 49ers around early simply because I had heard you say on a different main event stream that they have a good start. I have no clue who the starts are. Now I do, obviously, but I was like, what?
I mean, it's literally. I think you would draw it up as the two best teams you could start, and the 49ers defense is also very good. Is like the other equation.
Mm-hmm. But the Seahawks could just like accept they're losing and just run the ball,
They might.
And give you no chance to get sacks.
I mean,
chance to get picks.
maybe, but also maybe not.
Also, holding your opponent to 0 is also probably worth some points.
Yeah, I think you get points for that.
I know the 49ers lost a lot of talent on the O-line. Did they lose talent on the D, or are they still?
No, their defense is
no, they
their secondary is actually a little bit suspicious. But the D line, they were cutting starting level players because they're so incredibly deep.
I wanted to take Isaiah Likely.
We're talking about D line. That's the Bills, man.
Also true. Good D line.
The Bills play the Rams week 1 though, so we would not want to start them.
Free look, dude.
We already gave you James Cook, buddy.
Play DFS teams, though. You want to play defenses playing teams that are going to throw the ball.
Yeah, but there is a salary cap constraint there.
No, it's because you want the pick sixes, you want the fumble returns for touchdowns.
You know what?
I mean, preferably you'd play teams that are passing, but also not like the best team in the NFL last year.
Sure. Last year.
Oh man,
Miller's on the other side of the coin now.
Given our Cooper Kupp selection, they better be this year too.
Yeah.
He's still the guy.
Yeah. Have we anyone worried about the Stafford shoulder thing?
I'm worried, man, but I still go Kupp over Jefferson, and I still take Stafford.
Yeah, it's a what about thing that I'm like, there's not much we can do about it. I know.
Aren't you worried?
Yeah.
Let's talk about some 2v2s here. So instead of going Patrick Mahomes, so the guy who took Patrick Mahomes in the 5th, Fantasy Maniacs, got Jacoby Myers in the 13th. We went Deontay Johnson and Dak Prescott. Feels like an easy win for us.
Yeah, I like our side.
And especially the Cowboys last year. The Cowboys last year ran so dumb hot on turnovers and pick sixes and everything that if they just don't do all of that stuff, which is so incredibly unsustainable, as is defensive production on the whole, if they don't do that, we might actually get the true unleashing of the passing attack, which would be just the nuts for us because we have CD.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. CD's talent is a little questionable compared to the upper echelon, but he could be
imagine
a 35% target share, dude.
Imagine calling CeeDee Lamb's talent questionable in front of me, bro.
I just wanted your guys' take on this. We can get back to the 2v2s in a sec. Mike Gesicki falls so far, and what are their other options? Just don't use the tight end.
Durham Smythe.
Here's my take: is I don't think that teams all these tight ends getting fudded because they're blocking. Teams in the preseason don't care about getting their tight ends. Who cares if Mike Gesicki and Noah Fant blocked in the preseason? I don't think that's what they're going to do now Mike Gesicki is a little scary because they did sign Wilson to play the slot, and that team could just run the ball. But I don't know. I think we should definitely push it on Gesicki. I think Tunyon's a more upside bet where he could Tunyon could be the 2. Right, if he catches magic from the past, or he could be out of the league.
Jalen Warren goes.
Damn it,
that stinks.
Really wanted Warren. How much would you spend in FFPC Fab for Pacheco, Warren, and Dubs?
20%.
Not more for Dubs.
I like Christian Watson more. I think the Dubs thing. I mean, Dubs did just go in the 10th round here, but I would not take him there.
I think Jameson Williams is a target for us to consider too. He could be back by week 9. We don't need to take him now, but upside dude.
There's just a quote from maybe it was their GM, someone saying he was making progress faster than they thought. That's still, like you said, I mean, that could still be weeks 9, 10, 11, but I'm fine with him. I think Watson coming up soon. He is the 5th highest receiver on the board, so it doesn't have to be now, but I think coming up soon.
Well, we could do Watson Williams here and push it.
I would probably take Gesicki here.
I'm fine with that. Yep.
Do you like Gesicki more than Tunyon?
Yes.
I do.
Tunyon is like an all-time touchdown only guy, which is devalued.
Yeah, but Gesicki, I'm not sure if we're ever going to be comfortably starting him. Who knows? Tyreek gets hurt or something, and I guess it's like, what else are they going to do?
Gesicki's a grown-ass man. He's going to play his way onto the field.
Yeah, I still draft him.
I draft him now because he falls so much. Not that I'm like excited about his role or anything, but that's.
I think Logan Thomas makes sense, not next round, but in the 16th.
That'd be fine with me. Yep. All right, I'd go Gesicki here.
All right. So Aaron Rodgers is still here in the 14th, but
he probably doesn't.
I feel like someone would have taken Dak, like the Schultz dude would have taken Dak or something, because he took Cousins with Lamar, so he doesn't know what's going on here. No offense to anyone if they watch.
No offense. I just said you don't know what you're doing. It's fine.
Yeah, you just got to win the league now to prove it. I mean, he went Penny Walker as his 2 running backs with Hall and Hunt. Leaves some.
So we are still in search of that, that week 9 receiver. What are we thinking here? The top receivers on the board: Landry, Tolbert, Alec Pierce, Jameson Williams, Christian Watson, Marvin Jones. That's kind of the last 5.
I would like to go. I view it Pierce, Williams, like that tier guys. Pierce, Williams, Watson. They all have really big upside attached to teams that.
I totally want Christian Watson, because there was maybe like a little bit of concern he was going to be banged up for week 1, and that is not happening. That is not happening now.
Yeah. So the other thing too,
why don't you view Alec Pierce as the same? Because like Matt Ryan's going to have to throw the ball a lot.
Just because one of them plays with Matt Ryan and one of them plays with Aaron Rodgers.
Also, there's no way Alec Pierce ever ascends to the number 1 role, barring injuries.
Also, no way we are ever starting Alec Pierce. Like, Alec Pierce would be more likely to score points on our bench.
Gone, so forget about him.
But Christian Watson could ascend to a role in that offense where we're actually like, fuck yeah, we're starting Christian Watson.
No, there is a total case where Alec Pierce is like the clear 1B or 2. Like, he's an athletic freak.
I mean, like, he was a clear like 1A, 1B in college, and those guys typically don't do the same. Like, there's a scaling up of the talent around him. So
it's
I'm not dying.
And Campbell, and then like they can't run and Hines, I guess.
Yeah, I think the ideal case for him is he's a clear number 2, which that's totally attainable. But Watson has clear number 1 in his path.
Number 1. Yeah, he's probably better than Alan Lazard.
Yeah, dude, Alan Lazard's such a jag. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but
you don't think Watson? You just don't think Jameson has more upside? Obviously not week 1. We don't know if he's even going to play.
I would say.
I think we need I actually took him on a main event the other day where we felt more secure, but we are probably going to be trying to find running backs, probably stabbing at some high upside wide receivers, and also probably bidding on some tight ends. So I'm
cool with Watson. Like, I view Watson and Williams as a very big coin flip. So if you guys feel better about one.
Yeah, I also don't know if you guys saw this, but Matt LaFleur, no one knows what the injury is. Alan Lazard is not a lock to play in week 1. I would still imagine he is.
I did see that.
And no one knows what it is. No one knows what the injury is. It hasn't come up before, but he didn't practice last week, and Matt LaFleur couldn't say if he was going to play this week. Imagine the scenario in which Watson goes out, 3 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown in week 1, and Alan Lazard isn't playing. You're not taking that guy back off the field, and Alan Lazard is healthy. There's such a potential for a quick start from a player who's being priced as if he's not playing till week 5.
I threw Tunyon, Thomas, and Taysom Hill in the Tunyon's not making it back to us, but it feels bad taking him over Watson or Williams to me.
Yeah, I'd take Watson here.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that seems right.
I mean, with Watson, I kind of want to go Watkins just to try to secure
buddy
the 1.
You do not have to talk me into taking Sammy Watkins in the 16th
How late
round?
are we talking here? 16th feels a little generous.
16th.
Sammy, I mean, I wish Sammy was. I wish Sammy was playing in the Thursday game because then we could take a peek at his 7 for 144.
No, I was going to say if he was playing
if we
the Thursday
take
game,
Sammy and then we maybe take Rogers in the 17th, and we're just like we get to pick our poison between Rogers and
I don't mind taking Rogers eventually because like Dak isn't a lock to be an elite fantasy option. Like if the defense does sustain and the losses of the receivers is too much to handle,
and like the Vikings secondary. Like they improved it, but week 17, woof. Rogers always is roasting the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Packers could maybe not be that good on offense
for sure.
This year.
That's totally in the range.
We're set up to bet on them. I guess actually maybe AJ Dillon is the beneficiary if they're not that good because then they're just grounding and pounding.
When healthy too, they have like an elite O-line as well. They've been banged up for like a year and a half, 2 years, but it looks like they should have a full suite of all their players.
Apparently Bakhtiari was maybe hurt for a while, but he says he's good to go now.
You know what's worse about that Warren pick is the dude who took him took Najee. He's just hand-cucking himself here.
Took a Warren?
That's a unique comp. Don't let him get Benny Snell too.
You got to block him from Benny Snell.
Anthony
McFarland could resign.
Could he?
I'm sure he could.
I think he got claimed.
Oh, good for him. Good for Anthony McFarland. He could still get cut by that team too.
He was a guy I drafted a lot last year in best ball with the thought that like literally no one else was, and no one was drafting the backup running back for the Steelers.
Same thing for the Bengals this year. It's very weird how neither of those guys goes higher.
Yeah. There's teams like the Titans, there's teams like that. So, anyways, like I got a McFarland team to the playoffs, and Hayden Wings posts the ownership in the playoffs each year. It was like Anthony McFarland teams won.
That's so good to have that team though.
Like game theory and like the ownership. He was only drafted, I think, like 300 or less total times out of 155,000 people.
I'm gonna start firing on some Samaje Perine teams at the end of these, last final week.
He goes though, like he's like a little bit more popular for Jart than like.
Does he? I don't even think in like DraftKings he goes because people are taking Chris Evans over him.
Yeah.
No, it's Perine now. He's flipped him.
Perine does go, but not every time. Like he gets picked, but he does. No,
like
go.
The 0% guy is Deion Jackson.
Yeah,
that's the guy I've been sprinkling in. Which again, I don't know if like we see this sometimes with teams where they keep a third running back and we're like, oh, that's the guy. And then they're like, that guy goes down and they sign Foreman off the street or whoever.
Correct.
Yeah,
that's what I would.
David Johnson comes and beats the two.
Todd Gurley out of retirement.
I mean, the Ravens did last year. The Ravens did do that last year. The Ravens did bring Todd Gurley out of retirement last year.
Dude, there's a guy last year in Twitter, I don't know his name, but he was like taking 100% of Gurley around 18 on Underdog. Just being like, he's gonna sign. It's like he did that.
Yeah, I mean, people have been Liam. People have been giving me a hard time about my exposures.
People are going to do that, dude. Davis, you have a big profile. You're an easy target sometimes because you react.
Everyone thinks they're too flat, and I mean, maybe they kind of have a point. But one of the things I was thinking is like when you post the exposures, it doesn't show all the guys you have 0 of.
Yeah.
So like for example, I think the fact that I have 2% Jonathan Taylor is a way bigger stand 100%. Than having 30% of like some round 7 guy, if I had 30% Dobbins or whatever.
Well, here's the other thing. I posted a thread on my exposures today, and I think this year there's a lot more market movement with a lot of players, right? Like players we like too.
That's the other thing is it was like I would have had 30% Ramondre if he stayed at 110.
Exactly. I would have had like 100% Mike Williams and Gabriel Davis if they.
And I'd have had no Damian Harris versus the Ramondre, but Damian Harris started falling, and I was totally fine getting like good price balance exposure.
Exactly. Davis, we shouldn't have such hubris that we like chase every guy we like up the board. 100%. We take some fallers. So
Even if they don't move up the board, like I think our biggest edges are still probably in like structural drafting and for best ball week 17. But
everyone
in
says
this
that,
format,
man. I don't believe this structure.
You think you can pick players significantly better in the market, much more so than you can make better.
But what do you mean by
conceptual
structural
teams.
drafting? Do you mean going like 2-5-8-3? Like expand on how you mean by that, because I think there is an edge in doing structure, but I don't think it's like just do two core. You know what I mean by
No,
that?
I would say more about even in the way that we talked about building different rosters of like the high upside running back versus the floor running back. Because I definitely have like if I'm multi-tabling, I have a team where I realized I took like us. Imagine taking like AJ Dillon, J.K. Dobbins, no CH, James Cook. You're like, oh, I'm just like taking a 0 in week 1, right? So that type of thing, correlation.
To me, the edge in roster construction is getting rosters that are not built by the field, which that's not how people talk about that usually.
I agree with that too. But I think our edges in those scenarios are probably more often better than our edges on picking players. Like picking players. NFL teams aren't good at picking players. I don't think we're going to be
I'm pretty good at picking players, man. Everyone I liked went up the board.
Well,
not everyone. Jameson Williams went down. Ronald Jones went down. And there's some guys that went down and up and down. Like Albert O has been a roller coaster. I'm happy with my bag on him.
Yeah, we sucked out on Albert.
We sucked out hard.
Yeah, Dvorchak was never practicing. Like
I was taking him before training camp when practices weren't a thing. So.
Yeah, same.
Are you guys cool with Jameson Williams here?
No.
He feels like a player we're dying for. Like
bad fit on this team because we have 3 positions. If we had an
counterpoint with our top 5 wide receivers, we do not need someone until late, and he could be the.
No, I think we should take
Jamar Chase.
I think we should take the 49ers defense right here.
Dude, we're not taking a defense in this round.
I'm not taking a defense here. I wouldn't take Jameis either. So Jalen Tolbert is still on the board. I know like people have said he had a pretty weak camp, especially to close out, but like there aren't many other options for them, and it's a stack for us. So.
He's a week 9 guy. I would rather go Sammy. I have Logan Thomas, Taysom Hill, and Hayden Hurst in the queue at tight end. Cameron Brate is a guy to consider too. I really want to go Williams. I think he is trying to play to win the contest.
I mean, I think we are going to drop him in week 3.
We have such a high floor of our team. Like we have running backs.
We are going to hate our running backs so goddamn much by the third week of this contest.
Them, whatever. We don't need like 2,000 of them.
I mean,
5 seconds here, guys.
Just take him.
I'm not.
How bad is it? Yeah.
Yeah, if we cut our 16th round, dude,
I don't want. Do not cut him, Davis.
Like, think about when we get to
roll
week
that
9,
over
though.
with us before you make that cut.
I mean, Liam, I will tell you, I'm going in to do our cuts week 1. Josh Jacobs turns his ankle. Brandon Bolden's out there. Like, it's the way of the world,
Brandon
dude.
Bolden, dude. We need profiles
have you played this I don't actually know the answer to this question. Have you played out a full season of this before?
I've played the football guys. This is my first year main event.
You churn so many roster spots.
I get that you churn, but if you look at our team, like we actually have running back pieces we like, right? We have wide receiver pieces we like. Tight end, we're weak at. Quarterback, we have a starter. Like getting pieces that can actually win the fucking contest in Jameson Williams, aka like
Jameson Williams
was like the top.
Williams is going to be the Joe Burrow of last season, where the team that drafts him gets cut, and the team that wins the whole thing picks him up.
Yeah, it is going to be tough.
Let's just not drop him unless we like literally.
Well, we're going to get to week 9 with all of our receivers on bye, and he won't have returned yet. And we'll be like, wow, we held this guy all for him to not come back. And we have to cut him.
Pull whoever off the week. Hopefully, we're 8-0 by then. Gordon and Mostert are going to be churners for us. They're 30 plus, comfortably 30 plus.
We looking at tight ends here?
I mean, if you guys really like Hayden Hurst more than Thomas, I think Thomas has a higher ceiling, but Hurst is attached to Joe Burrow. So
I prefer Hurst to Thomas, but if I get outvoted, I don't care.
I vote Hurst. Any tight end I had an opinion on went 20 picks ago. I don't care.
You got to be the tiebreaker. It doesn't matter.
Tie for us.
Let's go Hurst. Let's go Hurst.
Okay.
Hurst, if like we had to start him in week 2 because he ran like 90% of the routes or whatever, I could.
There's been positive buzz on him, and he fits the mold of the breakouts from last year in Schultz, Gronk, Knox attached to elite quarterbacks.
Yeah, they said like Jamar Chase and T Higgins were talking him up. They were like one of them was like saying something funny like he runs better routes than me or something. Like, I mean, obviously they were teasing, but
I think McBride is a guy we should definitely attach to this team. All we need is Zach Ertz to be injured, and then
he's banged up right now.
Tyler's a guy who targets the tight end at a high rate too. You know, like kind of that.
I think he just targets players who are good. I feel like this is something when you said
he was targeting Max Williams, dude. Is Max Williams a star to you?
I think Max Williams got like 6 targets in the first week and then tore his ACL.
Look up Max Williams' game log. That he got more than that. He was getting like.
They also had his other options were like Demir Bird when Max was getting targets.
That is true.
It wasn't Demir Bird. It was
2021 week 2 against Minnesota. Max Williams 7 targets, 7 receptions, 94 yards.
And then he got 5 targets one week.
Week 4 against the Rams, 5 for 66 and a touchdown. Then he tore his ACL.
And then Strange, the first week 1 target, then 3 targets, then one target later.
But the point is, Max Williams is a blocking tight end, and he was really getting his targets.
I feel like
Cliff is a donkey, and clearly he likes the tight end. If that's what was happening.
Sure, I generally agree that they may target the tight ends at like a slightly above average rate, but 2 Max Williams games is a very weak argument for that.
Well,
I would have taken McBride over Hurst, honestly.
Oh, interesting.
I want to go McBride next round.
I mean, I like McBride as a prospect, and the guy ahead of him is like 30 some odd years old and really hasn't been efficient for God knows how long. So I have no problem with it. I just wouldn't make these arguments about 2 Max Williams games being the reason we're taking Trey McBride.
Well, but no, it's the Max Williams and then what Ertz did.
Yeah, Ertz had no one around him when he actually popped off, though. DeAndre Hopkins was hurt. That's when he
and they had banished. I mean, probably the biggest bear case for both Ertz and McBride is that they had banished Rondale to the shadow realm at the point where those guys were getting numbers last year, and it seems unlikely that they're going to do that. And if you are playing Rondale 70% of the snaps, you cannot afford to have a slow guy running over the middle because he will be getting in Rondale's way. Yeah,
in the game that Zach Ertz saw 13 targets, Antoine Wesley caught a touchdown. So yeah, his competition was in fact not
Christian
good.
Kirk, the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL, was out there, and
and AJ Green, the deadest wide receiver in the NFL, is out there.
And now we fucking lost the 49ers defense.
Dude, no. Chill out on the effing defense. Right. We're not going to be a donkey taking a defense.
You know what, Liam? This is actually very antithetical to your whole ethos where you've been talking about grinding out every like 3.5% edge. You're like, no, we got to draft right now because all the boomers. And then I'm giving you the literal nuts the first 2 weeks of defense. I'm giving
you the nuts. It's the Eagles. The Eagles have a very good defense.
Let's book right now 49ers first 2 weeks more fantasy points than the Eagles defense.
All right, let's do it.
All right, $25 booked.
Booked.
I will be.
No, we're not gonna get either of them. Eagles defense.
The Eagles defense just won.
Who's streaming this? Be honest.
Oh man. What? I don't know.
We're still booked
jack about any of these defenses. So
the Saints play the Falcons week 1.
Falcons,
the Chargers
that'll work.
Have probably the second best defense in the NFL.
Yeah. That's fine. Whatever.
Chargers schedule. It's not ideal because they play the Chiefs one of the weeks. It goes Raiders, which is like that's a game they could get touchdowns.
That is like a good game theory spot, but it's definitely not Justin Fields at home.
Yeah.
It's Raiders, then Chiefs, then Jaguars, then Texans, then Browns. Then Broncos. So literally with the Chargers, 4 of the first 5 weeks you're comfortable playing them because they go Jaguars, Texans, Browns, weeks 3, 4, and 5.
Are we holding a defense we're benching for a week though? Because obviously we're not playing against the Chiefs.
I mean, if we feel that good about it, maybe, but like let's
we already got one dead spot in Jameson Williams. We cannot be holding up multiple dead spots.
Yeah. Also, ever saying you feel good about a defense, easily the most random position that we have.
And Sammy Watkins gets snipes, dude.
Yes, we don't take Sammy Watkins. That guy sucks. Hell yeah.
We're taking Trey McBride, man.
I'm fine with that. I like Trey McBride. He's a very good prospect.
We take the Vikings or the Packers defense here.
Davis, the worst thing about your whole case of Sammy Watkins is that Team 12 took him. That's the thing.
Look at the company you're holding with Sammy Watkins.
The dude who took Tyler Bass in the 15. and a naked Kirk Cousins and Schultz over Waller and Kittle.
Oh, the Schultz team took him too. Oh my
Dude,
God.
that guy is winning the contest.
And that guy's Davis in another life.
On the back of Sammy Watkins.
What do we got left? We still we probably need another receiver unless we're just like streaming.
No, I think we go Trey McBride. Zach Ertz might not play week 1, man.
How many week 9 guys do we have? I Trey McBride's a fine pick. Just how many week 9 guys do we have?
I think Trey McBride, especially week 1, is like a really sharp pick ahead.
I would say if Ertz and Rondale do not play, we would absolutely be starting Trey McBride. No doubt about it.
Start him, but like it's conceivable he goes out on the field and sees 8 targets, and then we're like, holy shit, we just found an 8-target tight end.
Yeah, and that's fine. But then
Cliff runs such a weird offense with forcing Hopkins only on the left side of the field and all this.
Yeah, we just got a lot of roster cloggers here. We have Gesicki, Watson, Jameson Williams, Hayden Hurst, who are all going to be.
Gesicki we'll drop him. Who cares?
This is definitely a team with a lot of drops.
That's fine.
That's good, but that also means we have a lot of upside.
This happens when you punt tight end. Like you got to take 4 darts, and I think McBride makes a lot of sense as a dart.
How many guys do we have on week 9 bye just for the receivers? Because we don't have a ton of receivers. Is it 3 of like our first 4?
Yeah, it's 3, but at least we get to play Cup and Juju, and then we just need if it's not Watson or Williams by then, we just find someone.
Okay, but we have 2 starting receivers on week 9, right? And we'll just have to flex other positions.
We have Juju and Cup. Okay.
I just want to make sure we had 2. That's all.
This is a team where whatever. If J.K. Dobbins comes out and is like a full go ahead, and everyone was just afraid, we could just be sitting so pretty by then.
Yeah, I mean the receivers here suck anyways.
Do you guys like any of these other teams we're competing against? I've not even really been looking. A lot of them are taking 2 quarterbacks. That's a mistake.
And the fucking Packers defense went. I'm so annoyed we took Hayden Hurst over the 49ers defense, honestly. I'm very annoyed.
What are the
Hayden Hurst fits the pattern of breakout late round tight end.
No, he doesn't.
He's attached to Joe Burrow. Would you have been stamping the ground for Dalton Schultz last year? No.
Wasn't Dalton Schultz young and on his first team, and Hayden Hurst is
Trey
probably
McBride
28 on his 4th team? I'm fine with Trey McBride. I don't really care. We're at the point where I reached the no takes point a few picks after Davis.
I still have takes all the way through.
I mean, Jonnu, you know what? Jonnu is actually a better pick than Hayden Hurst. We did this. We did
great.
This.
So swap Hurst for Jonnu if we really want later.
I don't agree with that.
But Jonnu plays for a team that does not pass a lot and decided that he was literally not worth trotting out when he was the only fast dude on their team.
Agree with that. It's not a great look for him.
Are you guys going kicker first or defense first?
I honestly don't care.
Defense,
I mean,
defense
do I have any defense or kicker takes left? Oh man, Matt Prater is still out there.
Prater is my favorite guy to take because it lines up with one of my priors, which is that Cliff kicks too many field goals.
Yeah, Cliff kicks Barry. So I'd be fine with that. Is that negative correlation?
I kind of like Nick Folk because I think Belichick kicks too many field goals. And
also true. I think the math backs.
We want a team. Well. We do not want an extra point guy. We want a team that moves the ball but doesn't score touchdowns.
Those are hard to predict, but
like the Vikings. I mean, but there's patterns of they don't have elite red zone efficiency guys. I
don't think red zone efficiency is sticking.
You know what's actually a decent defense is the Dolphins because they get the Patriots on the road in week 1, and the Patriots are something like 2-15 in Miami.
I love the Dolphins. They're my team I've locked in for DFS week 1.
I'm fine with that. I don't care. I mean, they play the Ravens and the Bills next, so they're a one week team. We're streaming. They're on out.
We are down. We are down to 1 week. That's what we're on.
Deal.
We're going Miami.
Sure.
Correlates with Mostert. Got to get that correlation.
That's true. That's a very
very thin and not actually existing correlation. I would say that who's the rec spec guy? Oh, he went.
Is that Rodrigo Blankenship?
Rodrigo
Blankenship. He's gone.
He's a good kicker. He's a good.
We we could just take who's the Dallas kicker?
I would say the Saints kicker actually could be a sharp play. Where that's a team I could totally see moving the ball between the 20s, a la like ancient Matt Ryan teams. But like Jameis struggling a bit to have red zone efficiency.
Sure.
And Will Lutz is good. I think he just got injured or something.
He is formerly the guy who used to be at the top of the kicker queue. I can confidently say that.
Yeah. You know what's the worst thing when trying to find out information about Will Lutz? He's a 1L Will, maybe the only one in the existence of man. So if you're like looking things up or doing things in spreadsheets, you're like, why don't I have Will Lutz projected? And you control F and try and find him because you typed in 2 L's, you idiot.
Robbie Gould's pretty good too, but
Robbie Gould is my favorite kicker in kicker history.
Dude, he wanted out of the 49ers so hard that one year, and they just like refused to let him go.
They were like, we need you, bro.
Yeah. And you're a kicker. Like, you're lucky to be in the league, dude. I like our team, like
this is the first team I built this way, so it was at least kind of fun to be in like different pockets of the draft.
What do you mean by starting with 5 wideouts to begin?
Yeah. I've done hero RB with an elite tight end in like 80% of my main event drafts of all time ever. So it's like I don't think I know for a fact I've never started 5 straight wide receivers in a main before.
Well, and I like that we hit the running backs when we did. Like, I think...
that felt good because, like, the whole queue was just everyone had already gotten their running backs and the rest of them were just going to fall throughout the draft, and they did, at least.
How low would Cooper Kupp have to score week 1 for us to play Deontay over him?
13.
I was going to say 15, so sure.
I think 15 we probably rock. Like,
I think 15, yeah.
I mean, we get a peek ahead at our other opponent, too. So, like, that guy could have, like...
True,
if we're playing team 12, maybe we're just... rolling with the 15.
Yeah, the draft didn't really work out this way for us. I don't think there was a way to make it happen, but I do think for the like 0 RB FFPC teams, the best versions of those would have been our team with an elite tight end, but we just couldn't.
That's like, I would say that's chalk sharp. Like, that's the common way to do it if you're sharp is to add the elite tight end. So we built a more high variance team where, like, if Albert O could ascend to the next level, which I could see the case of that happening.
I've already seen it every night.
Or if Trey McBride, you guys are thanking me for the Trey McBride stamp in a couple of weeks from now. We're playing with house money.
Ah, damn, we got sniped on Will Lutz. Come on, man.
Really?
I'm upset.
Young Ho Koo, I don't know. They could struggle to move the ball.
We're not taking a Falcons kicker.
Mason Crosby doesn't really fit with our team with us having a lot of Green Bay guys.
Of course, poor build. Bad correlation.
I guess Dustin Hopkins is terrible because they go for it on 4 so much.
Yes.
I think it's between Prater and Folk.
I mean, it's Prater for me, but I assume everyone's taking kicker here and he won't make it back. He's the top kicker on the board for a reason.
Folk, well, no, a lot of people have their kicker.
Oh, yeah, we're actually only
Folk was
2
kicker 1 last year, but that's very fluky.
Well, kicker talk, guys. We've really gotten there.
At the hour and 42-minute mark, we've reached kicker
Davis
discussion.
has already started ripping. Davis, I was doing I didn't know that you guys were doing the Soulcast, and I was drafting against you on drafters, and I wasn't sure if that was just you multi-tabling or what was going on.
I've not done a best ball draft in 3 hours, which is probably the longest I've gone in between doing a best ball draft since I got back from my honeymoon.
Oh my!
I just auto drafted like a bunch of picks on DK because the clock went to 1 hour during this main event, but
it went to 10 minutes. You mean?
Is it on 10 now? It was on an hour to start the day.
No, it's I just got auto drafted too.
Nick Folk is the only guy who's left. So
deal.
Or do you want to do Jake Elliott for the Eagles?
I truly don't care.
It'd be a good bet against Miles Sanders, of course. So
yes, I do.
Now
like
Eagles are too cool.
Miles
They're scoring
Sanders.
touchdowns.
Isn't Jake Elliott
in
bad though? Like, wasn't he like really bad last year or something?
I don't know which kickers were
All right,
good
we're
and
going
bad
Folk.
last year.
Getting that Miami defense Folk correlation for week 1.
Oh man.
Now I need to go into all these drafts and turn off auto.
I hope some of this stuff on like the final ones they opened on DK doesn't fill, because I'd love to just spend the next 72 hours only drafting.
I was going to ask you guys, where are you guys at in your best balls?
Done in Best Ball Mania. I don't have the
Best Ball Mania. I had 60 DK fast that I did over the weekend. I hated it, but I got them in.
That sounds disgusting.
And then I got about 22 left on drafters that I'm going to bang out.
Yeah, I got more I got to do on drafters. I've only done like 45 on drafters.
You're not going to max drafters, are you, Davis?
Who knows where the wind is going to take me?
No, I have to be a madman to max that at this rate.
I have to get our I'm like very minutely combing through our projections right now. So it's hard to draft good best ball teams and work on projections.
Can you run a simulation for our league and tell me who it simulates to win?
I don't need to tell you. The team that got Albert O per Davis's projections is the one that's going to win.
Yeah, I actually have a pretty for me what you would say is a bearish, projection on. I have Albert in week 1 for 13.5% of the team's targets, turning into 38 receiving yards.
How many touchdowns?
7.
Then that's what we need.
And that's bearish
want
too.
To do kind of like a, I don't know, ESPN music type, like breakdown of our picks here.
So I think holistically, we did a couple things really well. One
I was talking more like in the first round.
No, I'm not doing that because Peter did that when I was on with him, and it was horrible radio. But I think this is what we did well. One, we didn't get scared taking Deontay Johnson and reach on Dameon Pierce or Breece Hall or be like, shit, we got to fill out our starting lineup.
Roster.
And then also adjusted well to taking Dobbins, knowing he might not be ready for week 1. So we have a CH and a Melvin Gordon week 1 type, a Raheem Mostert week 1 type, but then Cook has ceiling, I think. I think we should only taken 3 tight ends, and we should have taken Sammy Watkins instead of Jameson Williams.
I think we should have taken another running back dart. Like between
we should have taken another running back. I think you're right.
Yeah, like I think we're a little light at running. Like we don't have any pure handcuff. Like waivers is tomorrow. Keep in mind. So
I'd call Melvin Gordon like the pure handcuff. He just also has a role when they're.
Yeah, but like I'm talking really low owned. Like Dontrell Hilliard, he went, but like I don't know.
We can pick those guys up. Don't you worry.
Jordan
They'll
Mason,
be there.
Kyron Williams. Like Kyron Williams is a smart dart because you get the week 1 peek ahead.
You get a week 1 peek at him getting 0 snaps, so it's fine.
Maybe.
I'm not too worried about that one.
I know they rested him in the preseason, man.
He was hurt in training camp. Of course,
well, everyone else was hurt. Yeah. I would say what we did well is we hit running back hard and heavy after starting 5 wide receivers, and our tight end room is not the most inspiring, but like has upside. And then I like with us build that we waited on quarterback. Like, would it really hurt to miss out on Dylan, Dobbins, CEH, whoever for a quarterback in that range? In my opinion, with us not hitting on the Waller Kittle.
That, you know what, that not having an elite quarterback or an elite tight end does feel kind of shitty.
We have no, I feel good that we have Dak where we have and we play CD every week.
Dak CD is very good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, look, the difference between Dak and Burrow is not that much. It's just people like to go Joe Burr, like
they do love to go Joe Burr.
Like, really though, like, and it was Joe Burrow last year. Like, that's just recency bias and a little bit of the O-line stuff, whatever. Maybe that means Dak needs to run more if his tackle's not as good. Because Dak gives you that rushing ceiling that, like, I guess Burrow can run it too, but not as much.
No, Burrow is not a runner.
And I think that like compared to sharper earlier rooms in the offseason, no one was going more than 1 quarterback. One team went 3 quarterbacks, starting with Murray. A ton of teams went 2 quarterbacks. Like, these guys are all going to be cutting quarterbacks, where if Dak is a disappointment, we could scoop up a Carr, Fields, whoever.
Yeah, Fields looks really good in the first few weeks, and Dak's not getting the job done or whatever. Like, there will be plenty of options for us. I think
I cannot
this Josh Allen guy
to cut Jameson Williams for Justin Fields.
Dude, to be clear, you're running by cuts before you just do
Liam,
that.
you did a great job with the Jameson Williams pick, giving me another guy I can't wait to cut in Hayden Hurst. Like, that's going to be really good to be able to cut. I mean, we got 5 guys, I think, who could be week 1 cuts in.
And it's good to keep Davis interested too, because we were talking about this, I think, while you were going to grab a drink or something. And it was like, it is a slog when your team's like 500 through the middle of the season. You're like, we're probably not going to make.
Or if you're like 3 and 5.
If you're 3 and 5, you're just not doing waivers anymore.
But Davis will be excited when he's 3 and 5 to cut Jameson Williams.
You need to protect Davis. The fact you did 5 other teams, you need to protect your portfolio. Like, if you're letting the best team in this league that's not us build a super team that wins the contest and it comes at the expense of your other team, you just didn't work hard enough and that's why you lost. Like, that's unacceptable.
No, I mean, I feel pretty good one of my teams is going to win the main event this year. I don't know which one.
It's this team.
No, the one I drafted last week with Reeves, Thorman, Silva, and
you
JJ.
mean when I wanted to fucking draft when it wasn't as sharp and there wasn't so much info out there?
I mean, we got Dawson Knox on that team, so that means we automatically win, right?
I mean, we saw a team take Dalton Schultz in the 3rd round here, so I'm happy with how our opponents.
Alberto in the 10th or Dalton Schultz in the 3rd. Who you got, Liam? Liam likes Dalton Schultz for some reason. He thinks he's.
I don't love him in the 3rd. That's egregious, but I mean, you couldn't see 1,000-yard season out of Schultz. I could for sure see that.
If CD dies, I guess.
No, if it's just like if Tolbert's not good and Gallup is not like.
That's just the Cowboys are going to be a 6-win team if Dalton Schultz has 1,000 yards, but I guess they could be a 6-win team.
Yeah, but it could be like an 8-win team that's just like uninspiring or wins through defense.
You're right. It could happen.
Should I show you some of my main event teams? Or let's set this week 1 lineup. So we're gonna put Cook over Dylan.
Yes.
And that's the only play.
That's the only one.
And then we'll put CD in the Juju spot. Just because he plays the night game.
And put in AJ Dill or just put in whoever for Dobbins because Dobbins is not going to play.
I guess.
Also, I think even if Dobbins does play, he's going to be on a pitch count, so I don't think we want him anyway.
I don't know. Do you guys like Dylan or?
Yeah, Dylan. He's going to score a touchdown week 1.
Who do the Ravens play week 1? Is it Jets?
They play the Jets.
I would take 12 Dobbins carries, which is like I totally agree.
They play the Jaguars, I think.
No, they play the Jets.
Oh, okay.
I would take 12 Dobbins carries over a lot of players, including AJ Dillon, if he's playing. And
I don't think he's going to play. So I think we're going to get saved that outbreak. Yeah.
So what is this percent start? Is this accurate?
I mean, maybe it's accurate as of like when they ran it last night or something. I don't know.
So like basically 85% of the field is not sharp enough to play the look ahead guys. If James Cook is,
I don't know how they calculate it. I mean, the FFPC is boomer software. Like, who knows, dude?
Yeah, are they doing it based on all leagues run on the FFPC? Not
just is this event? Yahoo data? Like, what is this?
Yeah,
I would imagine it's not like tailored to the main event. Based on
all right, guys. Well, it's coming up on 2 hours here. We definitely battled. I'm happy that we did recorded because I think some of the discussions we weren't going to be able to have if we did streamed. And
correct.
So,
I'd have had them anyways. You couldn't have stopped me. So,
well, I just, like we can't say like, oh, let's do.
You don't think I could say that?
We couldn't have talked about like the Sanders versus like.
Maybe you guys couldn't have. I'd have told everyone what you're doing.
Well, okay. So to prevent you from being a Trojan horse, I'm happy that we did recording. All right, guys, this probably wraps up my draft streams for the year. Smash that subscribe button. Who knows what you're going to get mid-season from me. Definitely going to have the guys on to review some best ball portfolios and whatnot throughout the year. See if we have any teams at the top of the leaderboards. Hopefully this team is doing well and we can revisit it. Got to 1,000 subscribers, so that's incredible. Thanks for that. I'm now rich. I make 5 cents a month from YouTube. Just kidding. They have to approve my monetization. They're thinking about it.
At least I'm glad you got the channel off the ground. You know, we kind of had to gently lift you into getting the channel off the ground. So I'm glad we're here.
It takes a community, man, you know, and like it was not done efficiently, not done GTO, but we got a channel, bigger things on the horizon. Kyle, let's start with you. Tell the people what you got coming down the pipe and what you got coming down for week 1 NFL.
Oh yeah, I am looking forward to it in a way. Different change of schedule. I will be tweeting out all my stuff. The preview pod on NBC. It's like an hour and a half previewing every game. The good ones more than the bad ones. That'll go up Thursday evenings, Friday mornings of a DFS stream on Fridays at noon, and a DFS article that comes out that day. Other stuff too. Follow me on Twitter and I'll tweet it out. I still have to pull my whole schedule together of content.
Okay, Davis?
Every day of the week, there will be a podcast on the Sports Creative Fantasy Football Podcast. The Takecast will remain weekly, and we will keep doing our thing.
Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe to the audio if you're listening to this on Davis's Takecast. And just for the chat here, unlimited power.
I love that for you, Liam.
I like the wiggly fingers too.
See you guys.